Ibrahima Konate contract, Marc Guehi update, and talk on the Premier League and the Champions League for the week as well. This is what we're going to be covering in tonight's stream, and also a little bit of an update on Alisson Becker's injury as well. Not looking good for the Reds in terms of Alisson Becker. Hopefully he's back as quick as possible because he has been very, very important, certainly this season as a whole. But yeah, welcome in, guys. Make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Welcome into Talking Reds, where we've been latest Liverpool news, transfer news, and much, much more. And it's been an eventful week, another eventful week. Let's move this camera around a little bit. Do apologise, guys. Let's move this camera around just a little bit. Right, it has been an eventful week. Losing to Galatasaray the other night. I haven't been on to speak about that yet, but I will discuss that tonight because I've got a lot to say on that game and on the whole week as a whole in terms of Palace and Galatasaray. I've got Chelsea on Saturday evening as well. So I said a few weeks ago, this week is tough. 3 away games. Crystal Palace away, Galatasaray away, Chelsea away. We've lost 2 of them already. With Chelsea, probably the hardest one really yet to come. So, yeah, I've got a lot to say about the Galatasaray one. Trust me about that. But yeah, there's news on Konate, Marc Guehi, and also Alisson Becker. And a little bit on, I think it was, let me get it up. There we go. Oh, yeah, Guhei. That's it. Marc Guehi has actually said something about the deadline transfer breakdown as well. So let's get into it tonight then, guys. Let me start off with the breaking news, basically. Breaking in the last hour or so. Alisson Becker is likely to return for Liverpool after the November international break following an hamstring injury. According to David Ornstein, he's had a scan and is set to spend 6 weeks out, which he could miss the Brazil internationals coming up. So 6 weeks out. That's a long time, and it's 6 weeks. I know it doesn't seem long, but it is when he's one of your main players. Luckily we do have Mamardashvili coming in, but that's not the point. I would rather Alisson Becker right now, especially whether Alisson Becker is absolutely playing. So let's have a look at the next next 6 games. Also, we've got the international break coming up. So after that, 6 weeks, 1 week with Chelsea, Man United. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he could potentially miss up to Aston Villa. Alisson Becker, his next game for Liverpool could either be, I said after the November international breaks. That's even longer, really. That's longer than 6 weeks. So he could be missing. This is the games that Alisson Becker could be missing because of his injury. Chelsea away, Man United at home, Frankfurt away, Brentford away, Crystal Palace at home in the AFL Cup, Aston Villa at home, Real Madrid at home, and Man City away. They're the games that Alisson Becker could be missing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games potentially that Alisson Becker could be missing for Liverpool. And his first game back, according to the reports, that's if he's out for those 6 weeks and he does come back after the international break in November, will be Nottingham Forest at home. Yeah, it's not good news regarding Alisson Becker at all. We have got, like I said, we've got a good keeper in behind him in Mamardashvili. I'm confident in Mamardashvili, but it's such a shame for Alisson to be out again. Obviously, we know how much he does get injuries. It's a shame that, and it's an injury that didn't need to happen either. Pass back like that to put him under, well, not a pass back, sorry, that pressure that he got put under because of the mistake at the back. It's an unneeded injury, and he's now out for 6 weeks, unfortunately. John in the chat as well said, "Hi, Damon. How are you worried about?" 1 second, how are you worried about Guhei not joining us? Good question. Because I'm not worried that he doesn't join us. With what's going on, we're not going to go for him in January. That's an absolute certain. But that's reports over and over again. That's another report today saying we're not going to go for him in January. But I'm sort of leaning on the side of he's going to come to Liverpool no matter what. I think he'll come to Liverpool in summer. That's what it looks like right now. He seemed very, very much. He was literally a Liverpool player, wasn't he? He did his medical, ready to go. Palace pulled out last second. So he wants Liverpool, but it's just when other clubs are involved now, in January he can get offered another club, for example, for it's a pre-contract. Then we're playing with fire a little bit, not getting Guhei in a little bit earlier on in the summer, because now we're relying on him to not turn his head. And we've seen that many times. Players can turn their heads. We know that. We've had players in the past play for Liverpool and they've turned their heads playing for us. I mean, look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. Fine example. Had the chance to speak to Real Madrid and took that chance, and he's now at Real Madrid. That's a Liverpool fan. So who is to say Real Madrid weren't going for Marc Guehi? You know what I'm saying? Or another club like a Bayern or a PSG, someone else at Barcelona, someone else could go in for Marc Guehi in January. And who's to say he doesn't turn his head? It's like we've had it before where we've gone for a player, narrowly missed out on him, and not gone back for him again. Nabil Fekir was that. He was close to joining Liverpool, had that obviously failed his medical, and we never went back in for him. There has been times where we've missed out on players as well and not gone back in for him as well. For example, Tchouaméni was one that we didn't go back in for. Obviously, went to Real Madrid. Caicedo went to Chelsea. Lavia went to Chelsea. Things change. People change their minds as well. Players change their mind. We're hoping now. We're putting all our hopes of Marc Guehi not changing his mind, having Liverpool in his mind, and that's it. But it doesn't work like that. I hope it did work like that. Right now, if you're asking me right now, do I think it's going to happen like that? I'm hoping so. I'm leaning on the side of I think he's still going to choose Liverpool, and it will be in summer. But again, Lewis Steele coming out today saying Liverpool are insistent that they will not bring in Guehi in January. But remember the word in late August that Alexander Isak would not also sign. So let's see if they rethink the approach. So Lewis Steele's sort of giving a little bit of hope in terms of January because, we said we're not going to bring in Isak. And they had that, obviously, that happened in the end. So let's just see. I think let's just see. I think it'd be silly going into January not bringing in a centre-back, whether it's Marc Guehi or someone else. I think it'd be silly not to bring in a centre-back. But for me, getting Marc Guehi in January is a statement signing. It's like look, we need him in. We're willing to pay a little bit extra money instead of getting him for free in summer. We want to win this title this season. That's what I want to see. That would be nice to see because when it came to 2020-21, when we had the injuries, we stood still. We sat there. We saw Van Dijk get injured, Gomez get injured, Matip get injured. We're playing Fabinho and Henderson at centre back, and we're happy with that. And then Fabinho got a little knock, and then we panicked and went and got Ozan Kabak and we got Ben Davies, and that's simply not good enough. Right now, with Gomez, with Van Dijk, and with Konate as our three only centre backs there, when we needed a centre back in summer, we need to go out in January and say we want to win this league this season. Forget next season for a second. Forget the future for a second. If Guhei comes in, he'll come in this summer as well. We're focused on winning this title this season because that's what we didn't do in 2021. We stood still. We were top of the league. We stood still. And we allowed us to drop off because we couldn't be bothered bringing in a centre-back. And we panicked last minute because Fabinho was out. We can't do that again. We've got to go in January and get a centre-back. Whether it's Marc Guehi or someone that's good enough to cover, and Marc Guehi can come in the summer, that's absolutely fine by me. But we still need a centre-back coming in. Because if it really hurts us in terms of winning this title this season, you've got to look at is worth paying £20 million for a good centre-back. If you can get £20 million, £25 million, £30 million for a good centre-back out there to cover us for this season, it doesn't have to be cover for, it doesn't have to be first team because we've got Van Dijk and Konate. It's just got to be cover. Is that really worth throwing another title away? Because that's what happened in 2021. We threw that title away because we stood still, watch our centre backs be out, and happy with bringing Kabak and then Ben Davies in as like panic buys, as like they were like late on buys. No, they were like deadline day buys. They weren't even done in 1st of January. We should be looking at centre backs now. We've got to get a centre back in that first week of January. It shouldn't have to wait till like end of January and Konate picks up a knock and then we panic and go get someone. That should not be the case. We should be looking at a centre back cover now. If Marc Guehi comes in the summer, that's absolutely fine by me. But make sure you get someone else in January because we are in need of a centre back. Absolutely. Speaking of Konate, then let's get on to the Konate news. Liverpool are confident. According to L'Equipe, which was 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. I said 30th. Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, 2 days ago. So according to L'Equipe, which came out the other day, Liverpool are confident of agreeing a new contract with Ibrahima Konate, who was offered a new renewal bid 2 weeks ago. And L'Equipe, obviously, we know that's a French outlet, a very reliable French outlet. So they will certainly have links to the French international squad and obviously hopefully to Ibrahima Konate. Let's hope now that he does sign it and we sort of move on from this. I know he's been poor this season and rightly so, gets criticism for the games that he has played. Absolutely, but he's been fantastic against Arsenal. And he is still a top quality centre-back. Yes, I would rather have a Guhei and Konate fighting out for that position. And I think right now, I said it in the summer, Marc Guehi suits Arne Slot's system much more. He's a ball-playing centre-back. That's what Arne Slot wants. He wants our defenders to be ball-playing centre-backs. So that's why we're seeing mistakes from Konate. I said it with me and Naj recorded something earlier on, which is going to come out tomorrow. And I said, Konate is being asked to be something he's not. He's been asked to be a ball-playing centre-back. That's why we're seeing many mistakes from him, and he's been caught on the ball because he's not that kind of player. He's a battle centre-back. He likes to go for duels. He likes to wing headers. He's a powerful centre-back. Van Dijk's the ball-playing one. It's a good balance to have in between them both. But that's why we need to maybe change up the system a little bit, get a DM there that can sit there and be the ball player in that area of the pitch. Or a Marc Guehi coming in as well can be a ball player as well. But I just think Konate, yes, he's playing poor, but I think a lot of it is down to what he's been asked to do when he's not that kind of player. So I think that can change if he wasn't relied on to be ball-playing centre-back. Right now, my perfect solution going forward would be to keep Konate and bring Marc Guehi in as well. And have two players there that can potentially either fight for the spot, or if Virgil does leave in a couple of years' time, or 2-3 years' time, then we've got two centre-backs there as well as Leone, 3 centre-backs there for the future. So, which is, for me, ideal. Hopefully, we need about 4, don't you, in the end? So we'll have to play Van Dijk at some point. But yeah, Konate, although he's getting a lot of stick right now, and rightly so for the performance that he's doing, he needs to improve massively. And it's pointless calling people out on Twitter or whatever. I don't agree with people saying that, get him gone because of the way he's performing. I don't agree with that at all. Is his head in Real Madrid? I don't know. But I think right now with Konate specifically, we want clarity. I've said this for a long time now, on the a month, 2 months, or whatever. Everyone that's been watching will know how long I've said this. We need clarity from Konate. Are you going? Are you staying? If you're going, let us know. Let us know. If this is your last season, tell us it's your last season. Play the best you can this season and go win us a trophy. And then good luck with your future. That's as simple as that for me. It's simple as that. It's about we was annoyed with Trent. Obviously, it made less sense with Trent in going because being a Liverpool fan and a Scouser, as a Liverpool fan, you wouldn't ever dream of leaving Liverpool. But it would have made I think. 1 second. I think Trent would have got a lot more respect for majority of fans if he had told us, and if he had been transparent about what's going on. That's the issue. If he knew he was going to 100, which he quite clearly did for quite a while, he should have said, right, I do fancy a new challenge, guys. I'm a Liverpool fan myself, so I love this club, but I just fancy something different. Yes, there would have been people out there who hated him, regardless of his how he addressed it, but there'd been a lot more respect for him if he went about it the right way. And I think that's what majority of Liverpool fans want from Konate. They want just transparency and honesty. There's nothing better than transparency and honesty. Just tell us if you're going, if you're not staying, then let us know. But if you are staying, get that contract signed and Liverpool offer him a good enough wage to keep him. Because if we do lose out on Marc Guehi, then we're in trouble. Like John said there, are you worried about Marc Guehi? If Marc Guehi doesn't join Liverpool and Konate, doesn't sign, then who is it? Who do we get? We're down to Van Dijk, Gomez, and Leone. And Leone will come back off for a big injury, and Gomez, his contract runs out he's got 1 more season left after this. So it does need sorting. Whether it's him signing or not signing, it needs sorting. And it needs to be told what is going on. Because Liverpool fans deserve to know. After what happened to Trent, we deserve to know. We've got to be in the loop here. And the longer it goes on, and the thing is, it's just worse in terms of if he plays bad, it makes everything worse. Because everyone's speculating then, is he playing bad because his head's in Real Madrid, this and that. Instead of speculation, and putting in more pressure on him, of him playing, it's just going to make things worse. I think it makes things worse. For me, if they get him signed, we need to know ASAP. Get him signed, get it sorted, and then we can move on from that. For me, but yeah, it is frustrating, the Konate situation, but it is what it is. It's just that's part and parcel of football. Like I said, I think we're just all. I don't know if I speak for all you guys at home. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on this, but I'm sure everyone pretty much thinks. Just let us know. We need to know. That's all it is with that. But yeah, 1 second. So yeah, I'm going to be joined by DBK shortly. We're going to go over the Champions League and the Premier League this week, and also got Chelsea on Saturday, which I'm not actually looking forward to, guys. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I'm not looking forward to it at all because the way we're playing right now, going against a Chelsea side that last season for me, and I've said it a couple of times on here, last season they were the best team we played last season for me. Chelsea. Home game, we beat them, but I thought they were the better team throughout. Second game, yes, we'd already won the league by that point, but they absolutely battered us off the pitch. We still tried that game, by the way. I know we'd already won the league pretty much at that point, but we still tried, and Chelsea absolutely battered us. So for me to say I'm not worried, I'd be lying. I'd be gaslighting it. I'd be capping it because I am slightly worried about Saturday. I am, because I'm basing my I'm not basing it on results. Obviously, we get results. We have got results this season. I'm basing my opinions on what I'm seeing with my eyes. I'm basing my opinions on the performances I'm seeing. And this season, our performances by a few halves here and there. Atletico Madrid first half, Everton first half, a bit of Bournemouth, a bit of Newcastle first half. Apart from that, we've been shit. So why, if knowing that, what I'm seeing with my eyes, obviously Chelsea have had their games as well. They've been poor. They've been good in games, and I think they've been poor in games. But focusing fully on Liverpool, away to Chelsea, am I going to that game confident? I'd be lying to you if I said I did. And I'd never lie on this channel. I'll always be straight and honest with you guys. Always. I'm not confident going to that game. Which is scary, really, because we are sitting top of the league. Top of the league, won every game by 2. Lost, also the last 2 we lost. We, as Liverpool fans, should be the most confident in the entire league. But it's the performances. The performances are really, really worrying. And I've been saying for a long time, and many have, that those performances, those last-minute winners, is not sustainable. And at some point, these results will reflect the performances. And that's exactly what's happened in the last 2 games. The results have reflected the performances. We've been brilliant in terms of mentality, keeping on going to the end, go get a winner, and at times we've deserved those winners because we've pushed. One game for me that really stood out for me more than any other game was Burnley. Because Burnley were a team there, yes, they set up to defend, and fair play to them. They should have got a draw out of it. But Burnley are a team we should be putting 2, 3, 4 goals past. I'm sorry, whether it's away from them or not, we should put at least 2 goals past them. And when we create 2 chances, 2, maybe 3 tops, I'm being kind here, against Burnley, that's a worrying situation. That's worrying. We beat Burnley because Hannibal did that. Because Hannibal put his hand up. That's the only reason we beat Burnley. Because as the play went on, that was the last moment of the game. That was literally the last second of the game, that penalty. If Hannibal doesn't do that, they get a draw and we drop points. And we are second in the league. And the cracks aren't as papered over as much. But I think that handball from Hannibal papered over a massive crack. And if we continue to play like that, we get beat by better teams. I said that after the Burnley game. If we play like that against this and that, we'll get beat. Luckily, we improved. We improved immediately after. 1 second. I think DBK is coming on in a second. So yeah, we improved straight away in that game. After the Burnley game, which I thought was one of our worst games, we went to Atletico Madrid and we battered them that first half. That's the best football I've seen this season. That first half against Atletico Madrid, the Everton won as well, first half, but mainly Atletico Madrid won. The first half, that's the best football we've seen this season. That was a response to that Burnley. I know we won in the end against Burnley, but that performance was poor. And I think we responded quickly. Everton game, we played well again first half. We let Everton come back into it like we did Atletico Madrid, but we did enough against that team. Liverpool, Southampton in the cup, obviously changed team, but that was poor. Crystal Palace battered us. Crystal Palace should have scored way more than one goal. 2 goals, and also 2 goals in, but 1 goal at the time until later on. That game should have been over at half time. Yes, teams might be better than Liverpool in games. I don't expect Liverpool to be best team every game because there's some fucking good teams out there. Crystal Palace very much included. Glasnow's got them absolutely rocking. They're a very good team. It's a very hard game. And that's why I predicted it could be 1-1 because it's a tough game. But we should never be battered across the pitch by a team. And if we're getting battered by teams, yes, it ended up 2-1, but people focus too much on the scoreline. That 2-1 is very, very, very kind to us. We didn't even deserve a goal in that game. And then the other night against Galatasaray. And again, in the preview, I was very honest about it. It's a tough place to go. I said we needed another goal maybe to quieten the crowd. I don't expect easiness away to Galatasaray. But I expect a lot better. I predicted 3-1 in that game. I thought Galatasaray scored because they're at home. They might get a goal. I thought, really, we should be winning comfortably though. It's a team that did lose 5-1 in the first game against Eintracht Frankfurt, who actually we've got in a few weeks, actually, Eintracht Frankfurt. So they beat them 5-1 in the first game. Yes, top of the Super League in Turkey, but this should be a game that Liverpool should be going and winning. Forget the performance for a second. We should be going and winning. But when we play like the way we did, and the Galatasaray weren't even really that good, to be honest. I think they defended all right. Second half, I think first 15, 20 minutes, I thought they were a bit open, but I thought most of the game then defended okay. But another game, we created fuck all. Apart from the first 15, 20 minutes where Florian Wirtz were playing brilliantly, XTK was getting behind. I thought Galatasaray was quite open and not letting XTK in, but it allowed XTK to get behind a couple of times. And missed out obviously one-on-one chance, and then they went on and got the penalty straight from it, pretty much. But we created fuck all for the rest of the game against Galatasaray. That's worrying. It's not about the results sometimes. No one, unless you're really deluded and really biased, no one expects Liverpool to win every game. And this is why when I do my Premier League predictions on my previews, I'm quite honest about what I predict in the Liverpool game. If I predicted to drop points, because I'm honest, I predicted to drop points. No one expects Liverpool to win every game. It's the manner of losing. The other night against Galatasaray, that was pathetic. It felt like, honestly, I put it in the chat. I put it in our Talking About group chat. I said, it felt like this is the first time these guys have played football together. Honestly, I couldn't believe what I was watching. 5-yard passes. 5-yard passes you expect children to make. They weren't making them. It made no sense. These are professional footballers. It made 0 sense what was going on. 0 sense. That's worrying against a team that had conceded 5 goals previously in the game before in Champions League. Yes, it's a hard place to go, but we should be creating chances against them. Yes, we could create like 4 or 5 chances and miss them and still end up losing. But we didn't create. We created fuck all. We had 2 really good chances in the first half, and that was about it. Especially the Ekitike one. But as soon as Galatasaray sort of set up defensively a little bit better, we didn't know what to do. All we were relying on at the end of the game was like scramble football. It was like fucking watching National League. Honestly, it was like Sunday League, where it was scramble in the box and hopefully it drops to one of us and we smash it in somehow. That's what we ended up relying on in the last 10, 15 minutes of that game. There was no plan. There was no patience. There was no quick play. There was nothing. I was seeing nothing. I was seeing no way of getting past Galatasaray apart from maybe get a deflection or something like that, or maybe falls to someone randomly. That's all we were hoping for in the end. Is hopefully it falls to someone in a scramble. That's not good. And if we perform the same again against Chelsea, we're in trouble. Whether you like it or not, we're in trouble. Yes, Chelsea are not picking up trees themselves. They just lost to Brighton. They beat Benfica midweek. They lost to Man United. I mean, that's hilarious in itself. But there's still a good team on the day. And if Chelsea turn up and we don't turn and we continue to play like this, they'll beat us. And we're going into the international break with 3 losses in a row. And everyone's saying, oh, at least we're still top of the league, at least we're top of the league. But what happens when we're not top of the league? What do you say then? Me and Hens said it. Me and Hens has been saying it the last 2 weeks. Fix the boiler whilst you see it leaking. Don't fix it when it goes. Right now, something needs fixing. Before the boiler completely breaks, so you have no heating for the winter. Right now, we need to address situations. And for me, I've said it all the time, it's about system. Yes, there are individuals that are playing not good. Konate's had his bad games. Kirker's had his bad games. Pretty much, yes. McAllister's not playing to the level he can. Salah's not playing to the level he can. Gakpo's not playing to the level he can. Yes, having bad moments. But when you have so many players that are playing bad, it might not be the players. Does that make sense? When your dish, when your tea tastes like, or your dinner, whatever you eat at home, when it tastes like shit, it's not because of one ingredient. Then again, you could probably put a shit ingredient in it. It's because plus you're not cooked it properly. You need something. The system is letting these players down right now. We're trying to overload the midfield and everyone go forward. We're still open at the back. We're relying on a left back that doesn't play centrally, come inside as a third centre back. We're playing right backs on right wing. We're playing right wingers on right back. We're playing centre mids at right back. We're pushing Bradley into the box instead of Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah, the most goals and assists last season, is getting nowhere near the box. We bought a British record transfer signing in terms of a striker, one of the best in the world. For me, the most complete striker in world football, especially at the age that he is, in terms of like Kane Lewandowski getting on a bit. 4 touches in half an hour. 4 touches of the ball for our striker. Florian Wirtz is getting scapegoated like fuck. This guy's one of the most creative players in world football and has been one of the most creative players in world football. Don't just lose his talent overnight. Don't just lose his ability to create overnight. Mohamed Salah, probably the most creative player last season in world football. Them 2, plus a striker that can score that, and an Ekitike that can do stuff as well. And we're creating nothing. That's a big problem. Whether you can put it down to individual performance or you're not, that's a system problem. That's a tactic problem. That's a Slot problem. That's what that is. Arne Slot is one of the best tacticians and best managers in world football. I absolutely love him being a Liverpool manager. He's a perfect manager to replace Klopp. But he needs to look at himself right now and look at the systems, look at the tactics. Why isn't it working? Why are you playing poor? You've got some of the best players in world football. Why are we playing crap? Why are we relying on last minute winners? Why are we going to Crystal Palace and getting played off the park? Why are we going to Galatasaray and creating 2 chances? Why are we playing against Burnley, who just pretty much play back 4, back 5, and we're creating 2-3 chances? Because Burnley played the same way against Man City, and they got battered. We're playing to opposition strengths right now. We're not playing to the players that we've got. It feels like we're trying to shoehorn in Florian Wirtz into a team that doesn't suit him. In a style of player that doesn't suit him. Florian Wirtz wants fast football. We don't want to play this slow football. It doesn't get the best out of players. Mohamed Salah doesn't want to be hugging the touchline. He's no longer that fast, take on your man winger like he used to be when we first bought him. He's come inside and create things. He wants to be he wants to be the heart of everything we do. That's what he was last season. That's why we won the league, because Mohamed Salah was the heart of everything. This season, he's pushed out wide, and it's like we don't see him. And it's like, oh, Mohamed Salah's turned crap. He hasn't turned crap. He's being pushed out wide and expected to do something from out there without the ball. He needs the ball. Florian Wirtz is going all the way back to where Konate and Van Dijk has to receive the ball. He's not a DM. He's doing that because we ain't got anyone there that can pass it to him from there. I want Gravenberch as a forward player. I want Gravenberch as running forward the way he has done this season. But the problem is right now, him doing that, we don't have anyone sat there as a DM. And I've told you many, many times before, the DM is one of the most underrated positions in world football. You either need a sitter that can pass a ball, orchestrate things, or you need a player that can cut things out, basically a tackler, grafter that can run around and cut things out and break down play. Then you get like a Rodri, for example. Rodri's got everything. He can do everything. He can pass, he can control games, and he can actually break down play as well and things like that. I think Adam Wharton's pretty much like that as well. I think Kante was like that as well, if I'm honest. We need a DM. But right now, it's going to have to be, I'm sorry, Ryan Gravenberch. I know you've enjoyed going forward a little bit, and that's the best of you. We're seeing the best of you right now. But you have to sacrifice your game again. You have to have another season sacrificing your game like he did last season. It worked last season because we sacrificed his whole forward game to ensure we had someone controlling from that position of the pitch. If we don't have anyone controlling from that position of the pitch as a DM, Florian Wirtz doesn't work. It doesn't. A proper number 10 doesn't work because you need balance in that midfield. When Florian Wirtz is that number 10 picking up pockets and Gravenberch is coming past him and Szoboszlai wants to come past him and McAllister wants to come past him, who's behind him? The best time I saw it, the best formation, I still want to play Florian Wirtz, by the way, at 10. I think right now, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch are the best two that work together in that. McAllister's, for me, still our best midfielder, but McAllister right now is not fully fit. We can see that. He's struggling. But against Atletico Madrid, we had Gravenberch and we had Szoboszlai, and they kept interchanging, and that worked massively. I'll sit, you go. And then when I go, you sit. That's how it should be. If we're playing a double pivot right now, we ain't got a proper DM, that's how it should be. The two people that play that double pivot, one sits, one goes. And when one goes, the other sits. That's how it should work. Because we're not going to be balanced at all in that situation if that doesn't happen. We're playing a very dangerous game. This is why we're always open at the back. One long ball over the top, we're done. You shouldn't take one long ball over the top constantly. And it happened again, over and over again against Palace. One long ball over the top, and they were in on the wing. And that's another thing that confuses me. What we're doing to our fullbacks. We brought in two attacking fullbacks. And Frimpong's playing right wing. And Bradley is playing not Bradley, Kirk is playing a centre back. Kirkes can't play as like an inverted left back that comes in as a centre back. He can't do it. We bought Kirkes, who used to bomb up and down the wing for Bournemouth, put crosses in, create chances for strikers, be an overlap for his wingers. We're not even seeing that now. So the Kirkes we bought is not the Kirkes we're playing. And that's why we're seeing Kirkes not playing well. Yes, he needs to buck up his ideas a little bit, and he's got to defend better, especially like crosses and stuff. He's just getting his mark at the moment is terrible. But we've got to change things up. Do I trust Arne Slot to do that? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Arne Slot does change things up, and I think he'll see what we're seeing. He'll know we need to do better. I don't like his excuses and talking about like set pieces and stuff like that. I think that's something like Arteta do. I don't like that. I'd rather accountability. I'd rather say, look, I got it wrong today. I'd rather Arne Slot say that. He might not ever do that, but I'd rather him say that look, I got it wrong right now. And you know what? You know who surprised me and who's been very, very honest about this, and he's right about everything he's been saying. And usually he's quite biased. I don't like bias. And that's Jamie Carragher. Jamie Carragher's been spot on. Jamie Carragher, that first game after the Bournemouth game, he told Arne Slot, said, "You're too open." And this weekend is absolutely spot on. He talks about it after the game against Galatasaray, and he said, "Right now, we're not playing as like the best team. It's like a basketball match. Like I said, it's like end to end. We're not playing as a control. We're not playing as the best team. Yes, we might be at the top of the league, but not playing like that. We're only top of the league because of last minute mentality winners." It reminds me of. I'm not ever comparing Arne Slot to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you remember when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came second for Man United? And he relied a lot on individual brilliance to get in there. And everyone's like, "Oh, Ollie's at the wheel, Ollie's at the wheel." Everyone outside of Manchester United were like, "He's not his shit." I said, "You're just relying on you getting lucky with individual moments." Right now, that's what we're doing. Right now, that's what we're doing. And I'm not comparing. Let me get that absolutely clear. Is no comparison to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Arne Slot is 10 times the manager. But what I'm saying is, those individual moments, Annabelle handball, Szoboszlai free kick, those are papering over the performances. And at some point, that paper comes off and the performances are seen. And the performances then turn into results, which we have seen in the last two games. And I'm hoping this is just a blip. I say a blip. In terms of results, I'm hoping it's a blip. But I hope we do improve massively in performance. Because if we don't improve massively in performance, then the results will continue to reflect it. It absolutely will. And we've got some tough games coming up. And really, if you're looking at Arsenal's and ours, Arsenal got a better next 5-6 games. But having said that as well, at the same time, last season we did have a tough run in October into November. We talked, everyone like, "Oh, they're dropping points here, dropping points there." I think we drew like one game and won the rest of them. So, do I have absolute faith in this Liverpool team and this manager to pull it around and ensure we go through the next couple of weeks and a couple of months unbeaten or winning most of the games? Absolutely. But things do need to change because it can get scary if it doesn't change. I think that's pretty much everything I covered for in terms of the news. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you have watched, I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's been a couple of days though, guys. It has been a couple of days, so I've had to get a lot of things off my chest. I didn't do a match reaction yesterday because I wasn't available for last night. So DB came, Reese did it. I didn't do anything really for the channel yesterday. So today I've had a lot to get off. I've had a lot to say, but I absolutely trust the Reds to turn around. I absolutely trust the Reds to bounce back from those two bad results. I absolutely trust Arne Slot to be the man to ensure we bounce back and go on a good run. Hopefully we start Saturday against Chelsea. Make sure you do join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for myself and Ends at live tomorrow to discuss. We'll discuss a little bit more, also about Chelsea, about Galatasaray with Ends, and it'd be nice to hear his perspective because I've been going onto his channel. I've heard him ranting. I've heard a few of them ranting. I watched his call-in show the other night, so it'd be interesting to see what me and Ends talk about tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And also join us. Also, we've got something out as well tomorrow, myself and Naz, where we talk about systems, talk about formation, who we should play. That'll be out tomorrow in the morning, hopefully. So notification bells on for that. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And again, join us on Saturday morning as well for the match preview for the Chelsea game. Thank you for watching tonight, guys. Make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Have a good night and speak to you all tomorrow.